Hey there. Before we dive in, I just wanted to say something real quick. This channel is a little different. Yes, the content you're about to hear is generated using AI, but it's not just lines from a machine. There's a human behind all of this, me. And I'm sharing this because these books, these ideas, they've actually made a difference in my life. I've read them, wrestled with them, applied them, and now, through this channel, I'm simply using technology as a tool to help you access those same insights faster, smoother, and hopefully at just the right time in your journey. This video is a deep dive into Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, a book that changed the way I look at self-image, success, and the invisible thermostat that controls how far we let ourselves rise. If you're curious about how to rewire your inner beliefs and unlock the version of you that's been hiding under self-doubt, you'll want to stick around. Let's begin.
All right, welcome to another deep dive, you guys.
Yeah.
Today we're going deep on a book that's had a quiet but pretty huge impact on so many people's journeys.
Yeah, I think so.
It's called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz.
Mm-hmm.
This book, it really digs into how the picture we have of ourselves, inside.
Oh, like our self-image.
Yeah, exactly. That self-image.
Yeah.
It's like the secret key to unlocking so much more confidence and power in our lives.
It really is. It's like...
So that's what we're going to be exploring today.
Yeah.
Really trying to understand it and how we can kind of gently nudge it towards the life that we really want.
I love that.
So to kick things off, what exactly are we talking about when we say self-image?
Well, think of it as this mental blueprint we all carry around inside. Like a sketch of the kind of person I am.
Yeah.
It's not always something we're consciously thinking about.
Right.
But it's there, running in the background.
Yeah.
It's shaping how we see ourselves.
Totally.
And what we believe we can and cannot do.
So where do those beliefs come from? I mean, we're not born with them.
Well, that's what's so fascinating. They come from our experiences.
Oh, okay.
From everything we've been through, the good and the bad, from how people, especially those who are really important to us early on, react to us.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's like we're constantly collecting data points about ourselves.
Yeah, like almost forming this self-portrait based on all these experiences.
Yeah, and once a belief settles into that self-image.
Okay, so we've got this belief. It's part of the portrait.
Yeah, your mind starts treating it as the truth.
Wow.
And you begin to act in ways that line up with that belief.
Yeah, okay.
It's often unconscious. You're not always aware you're doing it.
Can you give us a real-life example to illustrate this?
Yeah, definitely.
To kind of help us connect.
Let's say someone has a few negative experiences with public speaking early on.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Everyone's afraid of that.
And they start to think,
Yeah.
I'm just not good at this.
Right.
That belief becomes a part of their self-image.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? They get super anxious before every presentation.
Oh, I've been there.
They might even avoid opportunities to speak altogether.
Yeah, I think we all have at some point.
And then, if they do have a bad experience, it just reinforces that belief.
It's like a vicious cycle.
It is. They think, see, I knew it. I can't do it.
So it's like the self-image is like a thermostat.
Yeah.
It's setting the limit on what we think is even possible.
Exactly. And what's interesting
Yeah.
is that Maltz says that this inner picture, it's often more powerful
Oh, wow.
than any external changes we might make.
So even if we change things on the outside.
Yeah, like let's say someone gets cosmetic surgery.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If their self-image doesn't change, they might not feel any different on the inside.
It's still that same portrait looking back at them.
Right. He compares it to phantom limb pain,
That's interesting.
where someone can still feel a limb that's not there anymore.
Oh.
So you might change something physically, but if your self-image is still negative,
Right.
those feelings can linger.
So how does this self-image, this so powerful portrait, get imprinted on us in the first place?
Maltz calls it self-image imprinting,
Okay.
and it happens through what's known as limbic memory. It's a part of our brain that deals with emotions and long-term memory.
Got it.
And Maltz highlights three main ways this imprinting happens.
Okay, let's hear them.
First, through authoritative sources.
Okay. Like our parents.
Exactly, especially when we're young.
Makes sense, yeah.
Our parents are like gods to us.
Right.
So what they say, even casually, can get imprinted on us.
Oh, wow.
Deeply.
Yeah.
Second, through the intensity of experiences.
Okay.
Like a moment of huge triumph or a time when we felt deep shame.
Right.
Those kinds of events can leave a lasting mark.
Powerful.
And third, through repetition.
Repetition.
Hearing the same messages about ourselves over and over again, especially from those authoritative figures.
Yeah.
It reinforces those beliefs and makes them feel like unchangeable truths.
Even if they might not be.
Even if they're not.
So even if those messages are from way back when,
Yeah.
they can still be quietly shaping us today.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's like an old program running in the background,
Yeah.
affecting how we think and feel.
So we've talked about the self-image,
Right.
but you also mentioned this fascinating thing called the automatic success mechanism.
Yes.
This sounds hopeful.
It is really hopeful.
Tell us more about that.
Well, Maltz believed that just as we have instincts for survival, we also have an innate drive towards success
Oh, wow.
and fulfillment.
That makes sense.
It's like our creator wouldn't have left us without this internal guidance system.
And how is this success instinct different in us compared to, say, animals?
The big difference is our ability to use our imagination.
Okay. Yeah.
Animals have preset goals,
Right. For survival.
right, for survival and reproduction. Their instincts guide them towards those goals.
But we...
But humans,
Yeah.
we can use our imagination to envision all kinds of goals.
No, that's so true.
We can dream big.
Yeah, we can.
We can set goals that go far beyond just basic survival.
So we're not just reacting to the world.
No.
We're actually creating our future through our thoughts.
Yes, through our thoughts and visions.
I love that.
Think of someone like Henry J. Kaiser.
Oh, the industrialist?
Yes, he always talked about the importance of using his imagination in a positive way
Right.
to envision solutions and outcomes.
That's powerful.
Or Howard Schultz, the founder of Starbucks.
Okay. Yeah.
He was inspired by the coffee culture he saw in Italy. And that vision led to the creation of Starbucks.
Wow. From a vision to a global phenomenon.
Exactly, as he said.
Yeah.
If it captures your imagination, it will captivate others.
So how does this automatic success mechanism actually work inside of us?
Well, Maltz compares it to a servo mechanism,
A servo mechanism.
like a self-guided missile
Oh, okay.
that automatically adjusts its course to hit its target. He draws from the work of Dr. Norbert Wiener
Okay.
and the field of cybernetics,
Cybernetics.
which is the study of control and communication
Right.
in living beings and machines.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like we have this internal guidance system
Yeah.
that's always trying to steer us towards what we focus on.
Okay. I see.
Like when you reach for a cup of coffee,
Right.
you decide you want it, and your hand automatically moves towards it,
Yeah.
adjusting its course based
Wow.
on what your eyes see.
We don't even have to think about that.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
automatic.
And that same process,
Yeah,
it's what we can use for bigger things.
exactly. For achieving our dreams.
Our goals, our aspirations.
Yes, you already have this mechanism within you.
We do.
You're using it all the time
Right.
in small ways. The key is to learn how to direct it consciously
Oh, it was.
towards what you truly desire.
This is making me think about how different this is from
Yeah.
how a computer works.
It's very different.
Because a computer can't imagine, right?
That's right. Computers are incredibly powerful,
Yeah,
but they lack imagination.
right.
They can't come up with new ideas or set their own goals.
Yeah.
They just follow instructions.
But we, with our imagination,
Yeah, with our imagination, emotions, and self-awareness,
yeah,
we can create our own destiny.
it makes you think about those moments when you get a gut feeling
Yep.
or like an intuitive nudge. It's like there's something more.
There's this deeper potential within us.
And speaking of potential,
Yeah.
how do we actually put this automatic success mechanism to work?
Well, Maltz starts with a simple but encouraging statement.
Okay.
He says, if you can remember, worry, or tie your shoe, you can succeed with Psycho-Cybernetics.
Okay, that's good.
So the core method,
Yeah.
it's about using your imagination to vividly picture your desired outcomes.
Like really seeing it?
Yes, and experiencing them in your mind
Right.
as if they're already real.
Wow.
And then you start to act as if.
Act as if.
Yes, you act as if you already have the qualities
Okay.
that you're aiming for.
So it's about more than just thinking.
Yeah.
It's about embodying.
And exactly. It's about aligning your actions with your desired self-image.
Okay, that makes sense.
You might have tried visualization techniques before.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have.
But if you didn't see lasting results, it might be because there was a conflict with your self-image.
Like a mismatch.
Yes, a mismatch between what you're trying to visualize and what you believe about yourself deep down.
So if we can align those two.
Yeah, if you can align your actions with a conscious effort to reshape your self-image.
That's when the real magic happens.
That's when you start to see real change.
Dr. Gene Lundrum, in his research?
Yes, he studied people who achieved great success.
Right.
And he found that a big part of it was how they programmed themselves with positive beliefs.
Oh, interesting.
And expectations.
So we're not just passive recipients of our lives.
No, we have an active role in shaping our own success.
Okay, so how do we actively program ourselves for success?
The key is to give your automatic success mechanism
a
clear target.
A target.
Think of it like giving your internal guidance system
a
precise destination.
Right.
The more clarity you have about what you want, the better your ASM can guide you towards it.
This reminds me of that story Maltz tells about the man who thought his face was disfigured.
Ah, such a powerful story.
Can you remind us of that?
He was convinced that his nose and ears were just awful. But objectively, they weren't that unusual. However, his negative imagination had so distorted his self-image that he was miserable.
That's so sad.
He believed everyone was judging him.
Based on some...
Yeah, but it wasn't reality.
That wasn't even real.
It was all in his mind.
That's heavy.
It is. But the good news is he eventually learned to use his imagination in a positive way.
Oh, that's great.
And he was able to rebuild a more accurate self-image.
Wow, the power of the mind.
It's incredible.
And it's true. Our nervous system doesn't always know the difference between real and imagined experiences.
Exactly. That's why mental practice is so powerful.
So when we imagine something vividly, our brain responds in a similar way as if we were actually doing it.
It's like we're building new pathways.
Oh, wow.
In our brains.
So how can we use mental pictures practically?
Oh, in so many ways. Like, imagine you're about to give a presentation.
Okay.
You can mentally rehearse it beforehand.
Right.
Picture yourself speaking confidently. Engaging the audience. It can help calm your nerves.
Oh, that's good.
And boost your confidence.
Or imagine a successful sales conversation.
Right. Or even picture yourself playing a musical instrument flawlessly.
So it's like our own private practice session.
Exactly. Maltz calls it the theater of the mind.
Theater of the mind. I like that.
It's setting aside time for this kind of mental practice, like stepping into your own mental cinema and playing out successful scenarios.
Interesting.
Researchers like Charles B. Roth found that salespeople who used mental imagery actually increased their sales.
Wow. Measurable results.
Yeah. And William Moulton Marston, the creator of Wonder Woman.
Oh, really?
He recommended rehearsing things like job interviews.
Oh, wow.
In your imagination beforehand.
That's interesting.
To build confidence and develop spontaneous responses. And Patty Carlson, who created the program How to Play Piano Overnight, she emphasizes feeling the music.
Wow.
Through your imagination.
So it's really engaging all your senses.
Yes, it's about making it as real as possible.
In your mind.
In your mind.
There was even a study where patients were asked to role play as a well-adjusted people.
Yes. Just imagining how a confident person would act.
Led to
actual improvements in their behavior.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
It shows the power of stepping into a desired self-image.
Even if it's just in our minds.
Even if it's just in our minds.
Now, what about those stubborn negative beliefs?
Ah, those can be tough.
The ones that feel so stuck.
Right. Maltz says we can get hypnotized. By false beliefs. Like, I'm not smart enough.
Yeah, that one hits home.
Or I'll never be successful.
Right.
He talks about Prescott-Lecky's research. Which found a link between poor grades and negative self-perceptions.
Oh, interesting.
These students had basically convinced themselves that they weren't capable.
So they unconsciously created a reality that matched their belief.
Yeah, Lecky even suggested that for some students, getting bad grades was a way of staying consistent with their self-image.
Oh, that's fascinating.
It's like they were afraid to succeed.
Because it wouldn't fit.
It wouldn't fit with their self-image.
And you mentioned the story about the salesman, Howard.
Oh, Howard, yeah.
He was really talented.
He was.
But he seemed to have this income limit.
Yeah, it was like an invisible ceiling.
But he couldn't break through it.
No matter how hard he tried, He'd always find a way to sabotage himself.
Wow.
And stay within that limit.
It's like he was afraid of making more money.
It's almost like that, yeah.
You also mentioned a case of someone aging rapidly.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Russell.
Because of a false belief.
It's a pretty dramatic example.
Yeah.
He aged like 20 years.
Wow, 20 years.
Almost overnight.
Because?
Because he believed he was cursed.
A curse.
Yeah, a voodoo curse.
Spree.
But when he found out the truth, that it wasn't real, he quickly regained his youthful appearance.
Well, so his belief had a physical effect on him.
A powerful physical effect.
Wow.
This shows that our beliefs can have a huge impact on our well-being.
Both mentally and physically.
Both mentally and physically.
This connects with what Dr. Barber said about hypnosis.
Right.
That it's the power of belief.
Exactly. It's not some mystical force.
Yeah.
It's about what we truly believe.
So if we can get hypnotized by negative beliefs, we can also dehypnotize ourselves.
That's the empowering message.
Yeah.
We have the power to change our beliefs.
And to unlock our true potential.
Exactly. Maltz believed that everyone has this potential for happiness and success.
Okay.
And it becomes more accessible when we start to challenge those limiting beliefs.
The I can'ts and I'm not enough.
Yes, all those negative thoughts.
So where do those feelings of not being worthy come from?
Often they come from comparing ourselves to others.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
We judge ourselves against these external standards.
Right, like comparing ourselves to what we see on social media.
Exactly. And when we fall short.
Which is inevitable.
Which is inevitable, yes.
You think there's something wrong with us.
They think we're not good enough.
And Maltz even critiques the I want to be like Mike campaign.
He says it sets up these unrealistic ideals.
It does.
People think that if they wear the same shoes, they'll suddenly have Michael Jordan's talent.
It's about finding our own path.
Exactly. Embracing our own unique strengths.
So what are some practical things we can do to start shifting those negative patterns?
Maltz talks about mental training exercise.
Okay, like what?
Like one for relaxation.
Okay.
Where you focus on your different muscle groups and intentionally release any tension.
Right.
Then you use your imagination to create a sense of deep relaxation.
Oh, I like that.
Like imagining your limbs getting heavy and sinking into a comfortable surface.
Interesting.
It's about using your mind to influence your body.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He also tells a funny story about someone who thought they hated green beans.
Green beans, really?
Yeah, but then they tried them again without any preconceived notions. And they realized they actually enjoyed them.
So sometimes our beliefs are just outdated assumptions. So that's a good reminder.
It is.
To challenge our assumptions.
Yes, and be open to new experiences.
And what about when we make mistakes?
Well, Maltz says to consciously choose to forget them.
Forget them.
Once we've learned from them.
Okay.
Dwelling on past failures makes them the goal.
Oh, I see.
We're inadvertently focusing on what we don't want.
Right, we're giving it energy.
We're giving it energy.
He talks about solution-oriented therapy.
Yeah.
Which is about focusing on solutions.
Right.
Not dwelling on problems.
It's a more proactive approach.
And it's like that quote from Otto Graham.
The football legend.
Yeah, he said, a great pass receiver needs a damned short memory.
That's a good one.
They can't dwell on dropped passes.
No, they need to focus on the next play.
It's about letting go.
Exactly, and moving forward.
Bertrand Russell had a similar idea.
Yeah, he said to consciously examine and challenge irrational thoughts.
Okay.
Until our reasoned beliefs become stronger.
Oh, that's a good practice.
It's about replacing negativity with positive and rational thinking.
And Lecky had a similar approach.
Yeah, he focused on pointing out inconsistencies between negative self-concepts and our deeper positive values.
So it's all about actively challenging those negative voices.
And reinforcing our positive beliefs.
Now, how does all of this connect with setting and achieving goals?
Well, Maltz tells a great story about a financial planner who started a successful mail-order business. He did it by focusing on his strengths and identifying a need in his community.
So he saw an opportunity.
He did, and he believed in himself.
And that belief, that confidence is crucial, right?
It is. He convinced his self-image that he could do it.
Even though it wasn't easy.
No, there were challenges.
Yeah.
But he persisted.
Okay.
And adapted his approach.
Right.
And ultimately, he succeeded.
So we can persuade our self-image of new possibilities.
By focusing on our strengths.
And what about the role of imagination?
Oh, imagination is essential.
Yeah.
Maltz says that changing your goal picture.
Goal picture?
Yeah, like the image you have in your mind of your desired outcome can actually change your emotions.
Really?
Yeah, it can shift you from doubt to enthusiasm.
So if you see yourself achieving the goal,
yes,
you start to feel more positive.
You feel more motivated, more confident.
Oh, that makes sense.
And remember, our automatic mechanism,
right, the ASM,
it can work for us or against us.
Depending
on what we feed it.
So if we focus on negative outcomes...
yeah, we're more likely to experience them.
And he also tells a story about a golfer.
Oh, yeah, the weekend golfer.
Illustrate the importance of perspective.
Right. This guy gets super upset when he doesn't play well.
It's just a game, right?
Exactly. His wife reminds him of that.
But he's lost all perspective.
He's so caught up in the moment,
yeah,
he can't see the bigger picture.
And Maltz's point is, we need to use our rational minds to step back and gain some perspective. Willpower alone isn't enough.
Not always. It's about using our rational thinking to challenge negative thoughts and create new, positive mental images.
And he gives us that great motto.
Oh, yeah. It ain't necessarily so.
Love that.
It's a reminder to question all those negative suggestions
that we're bombarded with.
Exactly. Both from ourselves and from the world around us.
So it's about being mindful of the thoughts we allow in?
It's about deciding what we want.
Right.
Not just focusing on what we don't want.
Okay, that's a good distinction.
He even suggests a mental exercise.
Oh, let's hear it.
Look at the problems in your life.
Okay.
And challenge the beliefs you've accepted as true. Then use your imagination to explore new possibilities.
So it's about getting creative.
It is. It's about opening your mind.
And he also mentions some wisdom from spiritual teachings, like what Jesus and St. Paul said.
About not worrying too much about the future.
Right.
It's about staying present and taking action.
William James had a similar idea.
He said to unclamp our mental machinery.
Oh, okay.
Once we've made a decision.
So we can focus on taking action.
Yes, without second-guessing ourselves.
And this connects with fostering creativity, doesn't it?
It does. Maltz says that creative ideas often come when we stop trying so hard.
Oh, interesting.
But it's not random.
Okay.
It usually comes after a period of intense focus.
So it's like the subconscious mind is working on it.
In the background.
Even when we're not consciously thinking about it.
Exactly. Napoleon Hill said that the title Think and Grow Rich came to him after he'd given up trying to come up with it.
Plus you let go.
He did, and the idea came through.
And Dan Kennedy talks about pouring out written work that he'd done subconsciously.
While he was sleeping.
It's like our minds are always working.
They are, even when we're not aware of it.
And this also relates to managing stress, right?
Absolutely.
Because if we're constantly trying to force things...
yeah, it creates tension.
And blocks creativity.
It can. Maltz says you can't win by playing not to lose.
That's a good one.
Focusing on avoiding failure just creates more anxiety.
And we're more likely to make mistakes.
Exactly. So he gives us 5 prescriptions.
Okay, for what?
For freeing up our creative mental resources.
Let's hear them.
First, support your decisions.
Okay.
Once you've made them.
Don't second guess?
Don't second guess,
Okay.
Second, do your worrying in advance.
All right.
Get it out of the way.
Okay.
Third, live in day-tight compartments.
D-tight compartments.
Focus on the task at hand. Host speaker,